Welcome to Lesson 5. This one I am very excited about. It has some AI in it, but it's also about learning about online entrepreneurship and careers. And I think it's one of the most exciting times to be in high school and heading towards a career, because all the old rules are getting rewritten, and you're joining the world after you graduate at a time when none of the old rules apply anymore. And so everybody who's been playing the game by the old rules will be at a disadvantage to someone who has not already built those habits. So I want to show you a few of the ways that I see things going. These are things that you can use AI to help you with, and things that I see that are working now that I think will continue to work as far as owning a business or starting a business, entrepreneurship, and careers, because AI is about to change the world in a big way. First, let's talk about different types of online entrepreneurship. That's wrong paste there. That's from the Loom software. Let me go ahead and copy this one over here from my other monitor. Tell me about the benefits and risks of online entrepreneurship: freelancing, one-on-one services, coaching, and digital products. Those are some of the main categories of owning your own business and running it online. So this is going to tell us a little bit about it. And one way that I recommend using GPT for running your own business is to help you brainstorm and to learn about things that maybe you don't know that much about. So here it will tell us about some of the benefits and risks of online entrepreneurship. I'll let it finish this, and then you can pause this lesson if you want to read this, but we're not going to dwell on this super long. But these are things to know about going into business and having it live online. So for me, I started my business in 2015. I became a licensed, self-employed health insurance agent. So I owned my own LLC, which is a form of business, and I found an insurance company that would sell products through agents, and I sold them to people who needed health insurance that did not get health insurance through work. So it was a fairly high complexity business, and it was not the most easy thing in the world to get started. I mean, imagine trying to sell insurance. That's literally what I was doing. The structure was kind of like being a realtor where you sell houses, but houses are a fairly demonstrable and obvious thing. Like, obviously everybody needs a house, or at least somewhere to live, and you can actually show it to people. But insurance is a lot more conceptual. So when you become a health insurance agent and you own your own LLC and you sell products through it, and you get your license to do so, the failure rate is very high. It was like 97% failure rate in the first year. So that's not too surprising in something that complicated. So yes, I sold it online, but I used social media to do that. I would build a page and build transparency for that, and we'll talk about transparency and what you can do to do a good job presenting yourself online when you're building a business. But I would not recommend building a health insurance agency. It was difficult. Let me show you some pictures from those times. It was very difficult. It had a high learning curve, high failure rate. Here's me with my team. This is me in front and my team in back. And this guy was my mentor, Nick. These are some pictures that go way back. These start like 5 years ago on Instagram, but I started in 2015. And this is the world we lived in. I mean, this is not necessarily what you would want to do. I don't know what your hopes and dreams are, but showing up in the morning and wearing a suit and tie and interacting with a whole team of people, that's for some people, but some people want their own business where they can wear whatever they want to and work from home. So that's what I decided I wanted. So I left health insurance and started my own online businesses. And I'm going to tell you about some of the things that I've learned and some of the things that I've seen work. And we'll go see things that are more interesting than selling health insurance. So let's talk about who to learn from in this space. When I was in insurance and in any other business, I learned that I really needed to find somebody who was doing something that works. I needed to find a mentor. And a mentor is someone who is able to show you the way. And it might be somebody that you get to know yourself, or it might be somebody whose material you just study. So the latter one, the one where someone's doing things that you want to do and you just study their material, that's the easiest to find. But there's also a lot of people that do that aren't necessarily the most credible. But I have found some that are highly credible, and I've learned a lot from. One of them is very well known, Alex Hormozi. He has about 1 million followers on Instagram, and he has an excellent YouTube channel. And he talks about just the principles of building your own business. He's got something called acquisition.com. So how does Alex make money? He doesn't sell books. He gives away his books for free. He doesn't have like premium memberships where he sells a membership. What he does is he teaches people how to build businesses through his content, and then if someone ends up building a great business, he can actually invest in it, and then he gets a share of the profits as it grows. So if you've seen Shark Tank, where people will build something and then need an outside investor and help to scale it, that's kind of like what he does, but he teaches people the best ways to build business. And then if someone builds a business that would really benefit from an outside investor investing, say, $100,000 so that they can make a bunch of whatever it is that business makes, and then scale from there. That's the kind of thing that he does, is he invests in businesses. That's how he makes money now. He got his start helping gyms, like places to go work out. He helped gyms grow their businesses, and he didn't charge them any money for his help until they started to see results from what he was doing. So it was literally no risk to them. So that's high credibility to me, is someone that gives away all their information for free, and if you build something that works with their information, then if you want, you can come in and apply to be invested in by him, which is really cool. Because you might build something that doesn't even need investment, and then you got all that education for free, and you're off to the races and didn't spend any money. But that's Alex Hormozi. He is at Hormozi, and he is also on YouTube. I highly recommend following him if you are interested in entrepreneurship. Let's look at a female entrepreneur here. This is Denise Duffield Thomas. My wife Sam found her book called Chill and Prosper, and I really like her philosophy, because the vibe of most of online business material out there is that you really need to hustle hard and work 80-hour weeks and put in the work. And it's very off-putting to people that don't want to live that kind of life. They don't want to be working all the time. And so what Denise does is she shows people how to create an online business that will be effective, so you don't have to be working constantly, so that you can go enjoy your life. So her book, it's called Chill and Prosper. This is her link in bio. And her book is, I already have it open on an Amazon tab here. Chill and Prosper. I've gone through it once. I'm going to go through it again. Highly recommend this. This is a really good balance to the like the Hormozi types, or especially against the Grant Cardone types, where they'll tell you you have to be working around the clock basically to be successful, which isn't true 100% of the time. It might take a lot of work to build something on the front end, but this is a book about building something that is sustainable, that you don't have to actually destroy your health to build. So highly recommend Chill and Prosper. And follow Denise on Instagram. She is Denise DT. And another one, and these are all personal brands. So a personal brand is where you do something under your own name on the internet. And of course, you probably want to wait until you at least graduate high school to start a personal brand. But think about the credibility that creates. When you put your own name behind something, like if you put your name on your schoolwork, or you put your name on your business, or if you put your name on your social media, and then you take actions with your name visible, you do work with your name visible, there's a lot of power in that, because that's reputation. People will see that you're putting your reputation on the line for what you're doing, and if you are coming from a good place and you're doing good work, that's a good thing. So you don't have to make a brand name. I mean, your project might have a name, and I'll show you one here in a second that does, but putting your name behind stuff has a lot of power to it, and it can create a lot of momentum going forward as you create things. Like Denise did not always do what she's doing right now. She's doing something which is online coaching, where she helps people overcome like their personal issues surrounding money, which is actually, you might not know it now, maybe you do, but people have all kinds of hang-ups surrounding money, and it can be toxic for them later in life as they're going through their career or building their businesses, to have a wrong outlook around what money is and is not. So she helps people fix that, and they actually are able to be more successful afterwards because they see a more clear picture of what money means to them in their life. But that's what Denise does. She does group coaching, which is a form of online entrepreneurship. And I wouldn't recommend coaching anybody in anything that you don't have expertise in. So Denise went through a lot of things in her early career where she actually had to face her hang-ups with money. And so she is actually very credible to teach people about that. But Alex here, he doesn't teach how to build a business without having done that himself. He actually became extremely successful helping those gym memberships expand for the gyms that he signed up for his service. So he's not offering any information that doesn't come from a place of actual real world effectiveness. And you will notice this in this space. You'll notice that there are people that will try to sell information or services that they have no credibility in. And so what I would recommend is gaining credibility in an area that you care about, that you love. Because I could go and teach about insurance sales, and I would be highly credible in that. I was in like the top 0.5% of success in doing that. I made over $1 million selling insurance. But the problem with that is I don't love insurance sales. That does not get me excited. I don't care about it. I was very good at it, and it allowed me to build a good lifestyle, and also learn a lot of things which I now take into online business. But I don't want to teach that. I have credibility there, but I don't want to teach that. So learn about something you care about. So for me, I've been learning about artificial intelligence since 2018, and I do care about artificial intelligence. It gets me excited. I've also been learning about aviation and aerospace, and those are topics that I actually went to college for. So those are the things I love. Those are the things I care about, and so those are the things I'm going to teach. But I'm not going to come to you with a product that doesn't have any real-world knowledge or effectiveness behind it, and you should have that same outlook. If you love a specific topic, immerse yourself in it, gain experience in it, try projects in it, try experiments in it, and document those things, and that will be your credibility. Where if you want to have an online business where you either sell a digital product of your knowledge, so an ebook or a course or a membership where people are able to access your experience, make sure that you actually have experience. If you're going to do group coaching like Denise, make sure you know what you're talking about so that you can actually coach people and help them. If you're going to offer one-on-one services or be a freelancer, make sure that you're skilled and knowledgeable in what you're doing. But also, don't give in to It's known as imposter syndrome, where you feel like you aren't credible in an area where you actually do have some experience. So just know imposter syndrome will tell you, hey, you don't know what you're doing. It's like an inner voice that says you don't know what you're talking about. You do. You do. Once you've done something, there's no need to let imposter syndrome hold you back. Let's look at one more. This is a personal brand that actually has a name. This is Passionland, and that's passionland.co. Passionland is my wife's project. Her name is Sam, and she has done a lot of work with freelancers and people who do own online businesses. And she's a super nerd in the online systems, the softwares and back-end things that will make your business work. So for example, one system that I'm using is Loom, and Loom allows me to record my face and my computer screen. Sam knows about Loom and all kinds of other online softwares, and she will show you how to connect those things together into a way that makes your online business work. So she sells a digital product of all the information that she got paid by her customers to make work for them. So she would charge thousands of dollars a day for people to work one-on-one with her. And when she did, she would make their business run way better. And they would often come back and say, hey, I'm to the next level now. I need to do another day with you. And she would sell them another one-on-one day because the systems worked so well. But she took all that information and put it into a checklist and digital product so everybody can buy a copy of her knowledge. But she didn't just go out and do this. She didn't just say, hey, I'm going to sell a checklist and push it to people. No, you can't do that. For it to be something that you should sell, it has to be something that works. Otherwise, nobody will buy it, because we're very good at knowing the difference between somebody that knows what they're talking about and somebody that is just trying to grift your money from putting something out there. So again, get experience in what you love. Sam loves online automations and creativity, and so she mixes those two things together. That's another personal brand. She puts her name behind what she does, and she is very good at what she does. But that's personal brands and how they intersect with freelancing. So you could be a web designer. You could just provide one service. You don't have to do anything that is like, you don't have to make up a new thing. You could just be somebody who's really good at making cool websites, especially like cool websites for specific kinds of people that need websites. And then end up working with people that are doing things you love. One-on-one services, coaching, we talked about that. Selling digital products, we saw that. So those are the kinds of online entrepreneurship. I want to show you a few books to check out that have really helped me understand online entrepreneurship and helped Sam as well. These things have been very good for us. Again, I mentioned Chill and Prosper by Denise Duffield Thomas. Highly recommend that one. Another one is The Almanac of Naval. Naval Ravikant is a Silicon Valley investor and founder, but he's very philosophical and is a very strong thinker, and he creates little pieces of information that he tweets out on his Twitter and puts on his podcast, and they are so powerful. They're ideas that are so powerful that once you hear them, you learn something profound. And he normally talks about like creativity and being an online entrepreneur and the tools that are available for that. And this is a collection of his ideas. Somebody put this together. He did not write it himself. And the best thing about this is that it's actually free. You can actually go in here. You don't have to buy it on Amazon. You can actually go to navalmanac.com and you can read it online or download the PDF. And this book is absolutely amazing. There's a chapter about happiness. There's a chapter about wealth and philosophy, and then Naval's books too. So this chapter here about happiness requires peace, this alone is absolutely amazing. and the illustrations that come with it are incredible. If you have one non-AI related takeaway from this class, I would recommend that it be studying navalmanak.com. It's free, it's incredible, it has changed my life. These are illustrations by Jack Butcher too. He is an excellent thinker and a really good digital artist. But not only will you learn important things about happiness, but you'll also learn important things about building wealth and building businesses and things like that. So get this book, or at least go to this website. Learn this stuff. It is mind-blowing. This is worth millions of dollars, and it's free information. Another one, this is by Rick Rubin. Rick is the legendary music producer who has produced some absolutely incredible albums and worked with some of the best musical artists in the world. And he wrote a book called The Creative Act, A Way of Being. And this is about creating and learning to use creativity and what to know about building your projects and your work and your art and what the line is between them and how to understand the process. This is a very good book. I have gone through it twice and I will go through it again. If you want to learn about creativity, this is one of the best books in the world for it. And if you want to get a lot of the nuggets from this, some of the information in this for free, there's actually a podcast where he went on with Huberman. So Huberman Lab, Rick Rubin. This is a 3-hour podcast where he went on with Dr. Andrew Huberman, who teaches all kinds of neurology and biology stuff on his amazing podcast. It's one of the best ones in the world. But this is his conversation with Rick Rubin, and it's 3 hours long. It is so good. I've gone through it twice. Definitely listen to this podcast for sure. It's just 3 hours. And finally, not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody wants to be a business owner. Some people want to work in a specific field, which means working with amazing companies out there. Maybe you want to work for SpaceX or Tesla or Apple. Anyway, this is a book for everybody, regardless of whether you want to own your own business or work with a company. This is called Build. It is by Tony Fadell, who was one of the people on the iPod and iPhone team. And his book about how to build stuff is incredible. Strongly recommend this. I've gone through this. If you get the audiobook, he reads it, and he's a very good narrator. This is very full of practical advice. This is a very good book for understanding what it takes to build things that are worth building. But that is a very good book if you are more career-minded and less entrepreneurial-minded. But just in review, artificial intelligence is going to allow us to build essentially whatever we want to and learn whatever we want to. And it's important to know some of the things about building your own business before you graduate. I think that the default path of going to college and then getting a career job is mostly dead for most professions. Not all of them. So there are still people that will go to college, will learn something, and then will go to apply that at a company. It's just there's going to be a lot less of that. So think about your career that you want to go through. What is required as far as education and experience to get into it, and think about the things that you love doing, about the projects and art you like to engage with, as well as the topics. So for me, when I was in high school, I really wanted to be a pilot. And I went to college, got my flight training, got an aerospace degree, and did not actually end up being a pilot for an airline like I intended. Instead, I went into business and ended up buying my own airplane, which that was awesome. That was actually what I really, truly wanted. I didn't want to be connected to the schedule of an airline and be staying in a hotel in a different city every night and not have control over my own schedule. I wanted a stable home life. I wanted to wake up in the same bed every morning. And I still loved aviation, but I did not actually have to go into aviation to enjoy it. So now I fly airplanes, and I fly remote control airplanes, and fly drones, and I hunt weather balloons. I'm able to enjoy aviation without actually being in an aviation career. And I'm very glad that I went this direction. So just because you love a topic doesn't mean that you have to do that for a job. It is possible to make money in other ways to enjoy the more enjoyable parts of that topic. So feel free to email me with questions on this, or include questions in your homework submissions about this if you have questions and want my advice on things. I'm 35 now, so I've seen a lot, and I've still got a lot more to see. And I very much am enjoying the online entrepreneur life. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming to this class. And just know, artificial intelligence is going to be in everything. It's going to make it possible to pretty much do whatever you want to. So just kind of knowing the path of the different possible paths and pairing that with what you enjoy is super important. Thank you for coming. I'm Chris Rimbolt. This is Future Homeschool, and I will see you in the next lesson. Love y'all. For the homework for this class, I want you to think about the things that are what you enjoy doing, and then write 2 paragraphs. These paragraphs should be as follows. First paragraph, tell me whether you would prefer an entrepreneur route, someone who starts their own business, or whether you would prefer a career route. And just in that paragraph, just tell me which one you prefer and why. And for the second paragraph, tell me a couple of things that you are interested in and what you foresee using AI for in that area. This could be with the entrepreneur route or with the career route, just what you anticipate as your work in the future, the things that you want to do, and how you foresee using AI. So in summary, tell me, do you want to be an entrepreneur or have a career with companies? And 2, tell me the things that you're interested in doing. But that's the homework for this lesson, and I look forward to reading what y'all send. Thank you.